Leave No Trace is an education program that helps public land visitors understand the importance of an ethical commitment to land stewardship and the enhancement they can leave for the future. Group trips with our families and friends are a great way to build camaraderie and enjoy the outdoors, but traveling in groups also carries great responsibility, especially when we factor in our favorite mode of transportation, livestock. Committing to the practices of Leave No Trace skills will help minimize the impacts we leave on our countrysides. It takes many hours of backbreaking volunteer work to assist agencies in restoring trails and campgrounds, so it makes sense to learn minimum impact practices to use while we are recreating. In heavily used areas, groups should try to stay within established campsites. This lessens the footprint in the lands we cherish. Staying on designated durable surfaces helps to reduce soil erosion and protects plants for the larger scheme. The plants we protect aid in reducing erosion. Travel in the center of trails, even if wet or muddy. This keeps us from widening or creating multiple parallel trails. Durable surfaces are those that resist impacts from trampling during camping, hiking, and riding. Look for rock, gravel, sand, dry grasses, and even water and thick snow to travel on. Riding and camping in these deep serene mountains requires quite a bit of forethought. When you are pre-planning your trip, consider your destination's popularity at the time of year you are going. The common spot you choose to camp on may be occupied. Be prepared to alter your plans in situations like this. If all the well-impacted sites are used, you may need to jog off the beaten path and set up a very low-impact campsite for you and your stock. Find a site at least 200 feet from water sources, with somewhat of a rise to pitch the tent. This will avoid trenching to redirect water. Highlining on a similar rise will keep your stock from standing in water and urine. Before setting up on the undisturbed land, take time to pull back the duff. Duff is items like sticks, pine cones, dead grasses, and dead brush. Set it aside while you occupy the site. When you break camp, redistribute the duff to camouflage what little impact you caused. This way, travelers who come along after you won't recognize the site as a welcome area to camp on. The deeper we ride into the mountains, the less evidence of mankind we see. We like riding over a ridge and not seeing hordes of people. Pristine non-trail areas require a practice to assure the next person to be there will experience the same wonder as we do. In scenes like this, riders should not travel head to tail, but fan out a number of feet apart so no new paths are created for others to follow. Four hooves traveling on a mountain meadow cause much less damage than two or more riders with pack stock in a line. Think 12, 16, 20, or more shod feet pounding down on the same ground, breaking crustacean and uprooting grasses and wild flowers. Campfire impacts are among the most common and obvious recreational impact we see in the front and back country. Most front country sites have fire rings to help contain embers and dictate fire size. Using fire rings when available is our best bet. Without fire pits, we are left with decisions. First, do we need a fire? A fire provides a cooking method, but there are quite a few advancements in cooking tools. A small backpacking stove with fuel weighs about 1 pound, and certainly quicker than finding a proper place for a fire, gathering tinder, and waiting for the fire to heat sufficiently enough to cook on. The warmth of a kindled fire to ward off night chills and for central eye focus while we socialize among companions are traditions we enjoy. Warding off night chills can be accomplished with proper clothing and gear. Alluring focal point for socializing can be accomplished with a simple candle, lantern, flashlight, or even a starlit night sky. Choosing a traditional campfire is a privilege, not a necessity. As more people visit the outdoors, more wildlife are affected by human presence. It's best to give animals a wide berth and observe them from a distance. Animals having numerous encounters with humans become more at ease with encroachment and less afraid. The less afraid they are, the more likely they will become habituated to finding food sources we provide and endangering their and our lives. Prospects of an easy meal will lure animals into hazardous locales like campsites, trailheads, or roads. Nutrition needed by animals, mice, chipmunks, or even the noted camp robber, are not provided to them in human food sources and may deter these animals from foraging in their natural habitat. A chance of transmitted diseases to humans and domestic animals is also a possibility from free-ranging critters. Mammals, especially carnivores, can become quite dangerous when they become accustomed to human presence. Many attractants may not be obvious to us. The odors from chapstick, gum, deodorant, toothpaste, stock feed, and even wastewater will tempt large defensive animals to confront us. All odorous objects should be stored high off the ground and well away from sleeping quarters. Animals may be more affected by human contact at different times of the year. They're more sensitive while pursuing and defending mates and territories, birthing, guarding young or nests, and when food is scarce. The more you understand about a species, the more considerate you can be of their needs and temperament, especially at critical times and localities. We are visiting their homelands and need to promote their survival rather than adding to their difficult lives with non-nutritional food sources, invasive plants, and stress. We are responsible for coexisting peacefully with wildlife. People enjoy the outdoors in many ways. We explore on foot, horseback, raft, mountain bike, skis, boats, snowshoes, ATVs. There are more of us pushing our sports to greater extremes and into the remotest parts of our natural world. Our experiences are personally satisfying, but not without cost to the places we visit and the animals we observe. America's wildlands are diverse and beautiful. They are also fragile. Polluted waters, displaced wildlife, eroded soils, and trampled vegetation are just some of the impacts linked directly to recreational activities. Even our mere presence has an influence. Considerable damage could be prevented or minimized if we are better informed. The Leave No Trace principles will help us do this. To learn more about the 7 principles of Leave No Trace and how to practice minimum impact recreation, visit www.lnt.org. To learn more about Backcountry Horsemen of America and its 32 affiliated states, visit www.bcha with Backcountry Horsemen of Washington. Visit www.bchw.org.